Hey guys, Carlos Cortez here. I'm really excited about the new setup. It helps me to stay organized and honestly, I'm just inspired to bring more content and to have the ability to walk across the bedroom and be in a studio and not have to worry about a green screen anymore. So, hey, thanks for everyone that has been following for 4 years now. Scriptures in Wall Street, where our goal is literally just to talk about end times prophetically, get you on the same page as what is really happening, and look at charts from a quantitative and qualitative standpoint. And it's amazing. You couple all that with discernment, and God just gives us the knowledge when we seek His face. Um, so everything on this podcast, guys, is meant for information and education purposes only. I'm not giving financial advice. Like I said, this is for information and education purposes only. But I do enjoy talking about the charts. However, if you do want financial advice, give me a call, 813-448-3446. You can also email us at info@cortezwm.com, or you can visit us at cortezwm.com. You can also download a free guide at americafirstretirementplan.com. If you're interested in learning what our strategy is and learning the color of money, these are great tools that we just give away so that you can be red pilled, so that you can be in the know of, hey, where is my money? What color is my money? Should I be asking my advisor about Social Security when to take it? What happens when I do take it? How much is my money being in the stock market? How much of that is funding things I don't want to be funding? These are great questions, by the way. It has nothing to do with performance. It actually has to do with being in alignment with your advisor, whether it's a female or male or someone in your church. Guys, this is serious times right now. Like, I don't need to talk about the Israel going against the whole world. Uh, this is all biblical. This is absolutely biblical. We have tensions in the Middle East continuing to build. Rumors of war between, obviously, Israel and its neighbors are intensifying. And we have global alliances that are now shifting. Matthew 24:6-8 says, you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. Nations will rise against nations and the kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. While the world panics, believers are called to discern the times. And these are not random events, guys. These are false flags. These are things happening to distract you from your walk with the Lord, from your retirement, from your family, from everything that is pretty much important to you. And so this is setting up the global economic and political arrangement of the New World Order, the one world government. You see Russia and China continue to build alternative financial systems in the BRICS system. Meanwhile, the dollar is going down. Now, I want to show you some charts because a lot of people will say, oh, the dollar is crashing, buy gold, buy gold. That is not the smartest thing, by the way. Gold and silver will go up because of the dollars going down. However, it is still manipulated. If you know anything about our community, we color code everything. So we have yellow. Yellow is going to be that liquid smart money that we advise clients on. Green is going to be a safe bucket of money that's guaranteed, utilizing the guarantees of an insurance company, utilizing index accounts that have the ability to grow at an index like the S&P, the NASDAQ, transition index, just pretty much standard volatile indices that you can keep up with, volatile control, as well as raw indices. That is our green money bucket. What's beautiful is that most clients, most people follow these index funds via ETFs, but you take the risk going down. So here with green money, there is no risk and there's typically no fees unless you want them. Now, the third style of money is where all of America typically is in mutual funds, the stock bonds, the red, the unknown territory, the unknown waters. This is why people panic when it comes to the stock market. This is where the traders are at. This is where the Dave Ramsey people are at, right? These are 401k people. These are people that do not know that there is green and yellow money that can actually protect them. So what we want to do here is literally have the ability to simply educate the whole world that you don't have to be in red money anymore. You have the ability to get guarantees on your money. Depending on your state, guys, depending on your state, they hinder you from actually working in a green money bucket. And this is proven in so many ways. You just got to give us a call, make sure we are a right fit for you, and we can talk about how these accounts will affect you, how these accounts will give you the ability to compound after compound. And I'll show you some illustrations, some projections here shortly, because November 1st is a huge cutoff for a lot of these green money companies because those rates are coming down. Those rates are really coming down. And so I want to kind of talk about that because November 1st is a huge cutoff date for many people that have called, inquired about what is going on. So if that's you and you're under 65, there is a program out there. You can get a 29% bonus. If you're over 65, you can get a 21% bonus, depending on your state. For a fee of 0.95, you can add to it and still get your 21% bonus or your 29% bonus. The 29% bonus is for accounts over 75,000 or more. If you have less than 75,000, the bonus is 26%. So still same feature, you can add to it. And all you got to do is go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out the information, make sure it's right for you, or simply just give us a call. Cindy or Josh or Raz will pick up and they can book an appointment to make sure this is right for you. So we'll talk about why many Americans should be looking at green money due to the bank failures, due to the lower interest rate environment, what it does to banks. It is insane what lower interest rates does to banks. Most people don't realize that that lowering interest rates is a bad thing for banks. Your banks will go under duress. They will continue to have pressures. And if you have money just sitting in a bank account, they have the ability to take it legally because you signed the rights away to your bank for the greater good of the bank. They could use your money instead of the taxpayers' money like they did in 2008, called it Toxic Assets Relief Program. You guys are old enough to remember the TARP. Even me, I learned what the TARP was when I was 21 years old when I became a stockbroker. Absolutely nuts. I was in the business in 07, 08, and in 09, and I remember Washington Mutual, the bank, closed down and people were freaking out. Washington Mutual closed down. I was in a shopping center at H&R Block Financial Advisors. Most people don't realize that H&R Block had a financial advisory firm. Ameriprise actually bought us out. I called them Ameriprison, and this is where I learned how to be a corporate advisor. But H&R Block was dope, man. Like, we were pretty much independent. They took half our revenue that us advisors generated, which was fair because they gave us open architecture on everything that we can possibly do. It was such a great model. We helped our tax professionals with financial advice because they're not allowed to give financial advice, just the same way I'm not allowed to give tax advice. So it was great. Absolutely best kept secret out there. But unfortunately, all good things come to what? They come to an end. And I was just a kid in the business. So anyways, I was in Orlando, Florida. Washington Mutual literally just shut down. Like, I couldn't believe it. I saw it on TV. I was looking at the TV. And then I looked outside of my desk. I had a window, and there was a Washington Mutual across the street. I saw the manager run in his Mercedes, drive across the street, go to the Home Depot, and literally bring chains and a lock and lock the doors of Washington Mutual. So they wouldn't, because they had a thing like, if you're in the bank, they had to service you. Well, if they locked down the doors and you couldn't get in, you weren't getting in. So they locked it up with chains and a lock and pulled a chain gate down, like you see in the city in a jewelry store, and you couldn't get in. It was vaulted. And what this basically meant was the bank had no reserves. And this could happen now, guys. Like, this could happen now if we have commercial real estate wiping the you-know-whats of the banks. I'm just here to tell you, be careful. I'm not fear mongering. I know I've talked about this a lot because I'm strongly confident that we're going to see some stresses in the banks. And so if you're older, I just spoke to a client that her husband's going in a few months to a long-term or skilled nursing home. And she had asked me, my CD is due October 1st. And I just don't feel comfortable telling her to renew her CD, knowing that she needs access to this money. Guys, if that bank goes belly up, do you think this lady is going to have money to fund her husband's care? So this is a very risky thing that could happen. She's not the only one. We get calls all over the country. And I'm only one person, but I also want to do what's right for everybody and tell them the truth. Even if they don't do business with us, that's irrelevant. I've made money. I've made my money. I don't need to make my money off of every client. All right. So I'm actually going to stop bringing clients in 5 more years. I'll just only work with my current book of business. And if you're in, great. I love you. I'll show love to you. Always reach out with some of the greatest investment ideas. And you know that I'll be aligned with you spiritually. You know I'll be aligned with you politically, and obviously academically and medically and all ideologically, right? But it's all about the cross, man. Like I could care less about everything else. It's the cross that actually matters. I'm a relationship over money guy. As you guys know, I've been sued because I recommended a bad Bitcoin fund, and the Bitcoin money manager literally rug pulled the whole thing and stole everybody's money, including mine. I was the biggest investor, and I got drilled, and my name was thrown to the mud. And I showed face, guys. Like my colleagues was like, "Hey, all you got to do is just declare bankruptcy, and yeah, your license already marked, but just start another corporation, and you don't have to worry about paying anybody back." And I'm like, that's the most grimiest thing you could do. So if I can make a few $1,000,000 and give them half of that, then I'm going to do that. And that's exactly what I did. And God provided, and God showed his face, and he showed how amazing his scriptures are. His promises are real, guys. When I say Malachi 3 writes, he provides for all of our needs. And when you sow in his kingdom financially, and you do Malachi 3, and you give him the first fruits, and you're grateful for the ramen noodles that you had to eat, you're grateful for just being able to go home, to have the first breaths and glorify God in the morning, to be able to say grace for the food that he's given you. When you truly surrender your heart to Christ, he just not feeds you financially. He restores your soul. He gives you favor. He gives you that spiritual swag that you could look at people and see their demons, that you could see their gifts. You could see the individualization of everybody, the discernment. And it is such a blessing because I blame the cross for my success. And yes, I am controversial. Yes, I'm still a sinner. And yes, I still do things that are edgy. But I will tell you that I will not falter. My integrity will never be for sale. And I don't care what kind of money people throw at me. I've been offered 15, 25 million to sell scriptures on Wall Street, CWM, CWA, all of it. You know what I told them? Oh, and by the way, they told me to change my message. I laughed at them. I said, I can make that in 5 years. It's going to be tough, but I could do it. This little Puerto Rican kid that was told that I would never go to college. My teacher told me, my middle school teacher told me that I would never go to college. I was always late. I didn't have it. And what she was looking at is my dad working in a metal shop as a welder. But she didn't know that he made twice as much as she did as a school teacher. And what she also didn't know is that since I grew up lower class, lower borderline poor, um, I also was friends with a lot of kids, and their dads were wealthy. They had butlers, they had elevators, and I got curious at a very young age. And I actually studied the markets when I was like 13 years old. I studied what options were. I remember saving up like my lunch money, and it was like $14 back in the 90s. And I asked my mom if I could buy this book. It was like $15. It was a lot of money for me. And it was like a 2 p.m. infomercial or something. I will remember waiting to hear the infomercial again and writing the number down and telling my mom when she woke up in the morning, Mom, I want to buy this book. It's going to make me rich one day. So we don't have to worry about making ends meet. I remember that. I remember telling my mom that one day I want to buy you a diamond ring because you're beautiful to me. I remember telling my dad that I want to buy him a new car one day. I remember telling my parents that I'm gonna buy a home, big home, and have a big family, and you'll be proud of me one day. I remember saying those things. At 42 years old, I've accomplished all of it. And I'm not here to brag. I'm here to just basically, for anyone that's younger and maybe you're lost and you don't know your purpose, God has a plan for you. And you know what's interesting? There's a hack here. There's a hack out there that God literally gave you gifts. And if you don't know what they are, there's a link on this podcast. And I do not get paid anything to promote this at all, but I care about people. And I want you to understand what your gifts are because God has called you to utilize your gifts. He legit wants you to use your gifts so that you can glorify him. And so what I want to do is if you have, I think they're like $40 or so, just go scroll down and find the Gallup's strengths test. Take that test, guys. It's going to take you about 45 minutes to an hour to do, but you're going to know what your gifts are. And if you're younger or even older, you're going to notice that you're good at certain things, but you've never actually left it on a report. You've never seen it by a professional. Like you've never spent time on it. People don't spend time on their brain or their mindsets or getting to know themselves. They don't spend money on personal development. And so if you have the ability to learn about yourself, then you can show up as a better person for your clients. You can show a better person to your church and more importantly, your family. And so with this test, what it's going to do, it's going to expose some of your strengths. And there's some for your weaknesses through a DISC assessment, but this one is for your strengths. And all this is going to do is just really, really shed light and expose your strengths so that you can build your career, you can build your ministry, you can build your work based on your strengths. And what's beautiful is that we spoke about the fork in the road. We spoke about trusting God versus pleasing God. And I've been on the road of pleasing God forever. And it sucks because you will sin, you will fail, you will miss things, you will hurt your family, you will screw up because God knew that we needed a savior. His name was Jesus Christ. But he also didn't send him to die for our sins. He also sent him because we are not perfect. And so this is the road called trust God. And when we actually trust him, God says that in John 3:16, that whoever believes in him has everlasting life. And I don't think it goes just with everlasting life. That also means here. That also means prosperity. That also means discernment, acknowledgement, favor. That In other scriptures, it says that you are more than the conquerors. You are the head and not the tail. He has you in the palm of his hand. But guess what? We're not trusting him. We're pleasing him, trying to look good, but we're not fully trusting him. And I know that because I see it on the financial side of things. And the financial side exposes your true character. So you want to do a quick introspect? Open up your checking account and see how many times you've actually given to your church. Because Malachi 3 also says, trust me in this. But are we actually trusting him with our finances? It's the ultimate test, man. It is the ultimate test. That's why I love what I do, because the Bible talks about money than any other subject. And it actually brings out true character. Really, really does. So I'm just honored to be here. I'm honored to have a platform. I'm honored to predict the markets. I'm honored to make money for all you guys. I'm honored just to be your friend, your advisor, to give you a biblical perspective, to be bold, to be truthful, to be a gangster for the cross. Like, that's what I bring to the table. I want you to ask your advisor, what are they doing to help you grow spiritually? What are they doing to protect your retirement, to build a legacy? And what are they funding that you don't even like? Guys, this is serious. We have interest rates coming down. The banks are terrible. You will see people not buying precious metals. They will be buying the real precious metals, you know, the brass ones that you put into AR-15s, and they will get your precious metals. That is what's to come. When people don't have access to their money, survival mode kicks in. And there's different survival modes. There's one sexually, there's one spiritually, there's one medically, and there's another one financially and socially. There's like 4 or 5 different survival skills. Whenever those are questioned or triggered, watch out, dude. It gets crazy, man. It gets crazy. So people go into flight or fight mode. In Florida, we're now open carry. I'm not open carrying. I like being quiet and incognito, because people treat you different if they see you walking around with an AR-15 or whatever it is that you're carrying. They will treat you different. So, I believe that things are going to happen. And so I want to show you some charts here. Okay, guys, so I want to show you some cool stuff here, man. Let's give a market update on what's really going on right now. Not from the mainstream media, but actually what's really happening. And speaking of that, you know, there's a culture in spiritual warfare. Financial deception is increasing, from ESG agendas and retirement accounts to media distractions with monetary policies. You know, these shifts are happening behind the scenes, but there's a battle for your attention. There's a huge battle for your attention and your own worship. What you spend time with the most is what you worship. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us, for we not wrestle with flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness in this world. And as you have a family and you're the priesthood of it, you have to be conscious of the information warfare and the financial warfare that we're in right now. So don't outsource your discernment to pundits that don't even have a biblical relationship, that do not have an authoritative connection with God, because you're going to get junk. You are going to be fed, especially on topics you don't know anything. You become vulnerable to their spirits. You become vulnerable to all the nastiness that they're living and their victim mindset and their negative mindset. Remember, Jesus was not a positive thinker. He wasn't a negative thinker. He was a truth teller, and he got crucified for it. So that is not the comfort thing to do. The comfort thing to do is find somebody that is telling you what you want to hear, like a nasty ally or alias, I would say. So in this hour, discernment, faith is your fortress and wisdom is your weapon. Very important, guys. So when I say that is because when I see these charts, I'm able to really, really decipher technically with discernment of what is really happening. And one of the things I do want to share is the US dollar. Is the US dollar crashing? That is the whole terms. Oh, the US dollar is crashing. Well, let's quantify it, guys. Let's not just say the US dollar is crashing. It is down for sure. So back in from it's March. Actually, let's go back to January. That's July. So we were at around 33, and now we're at 32. So we're down a good 10%. Now, this is a weekly chart, so this is very difficult to move. Now, for this whole quarter, actually this whole year, it's been down. But look what is happening right now. And they won't tell you this. They will not tell you this, guys. The dollar is starting to rebound. It's like anything else. When it hits a low and it's below this 200-day moving average, it's going to fight back. And so this is when you actually buy the US dollar. When we see these green traffic lights and is below that 200-day moving average, we're going to buy. So we're going to see a dollar literally skyrocket. Not skyrocket, but there's going to be so much momentum. Get ready for all you bro investors that believed in gold. Gold's the future, right? Gold's going to do great. Gold's going to do awesome. Let's take a look at it. Here is gold. Now, the reason why gold is going up is because this same chart is a reciprocal here. Do I need to go back? Remember this, how this formation of gold is. Look, this is gold. This is no joke. But check out the US dollar. It is if you flip this upside down, it is literally the complete opposite. So guess what happened? The dollar's going down and gold is going up. So what happens when gold starts to the dollar starts to come back up? You will see, going back to gold, you will see it hit its top here. And of course, this is a weekly chart. So there's going to be a lot of volatility. I'll even show you the daily chart. So here's a daily chart. We will see gold come back up. And look at this top blue line here on my MACD. Whenever it hits this, it always comes down. Like literally, like over 95% of the time, it is going to come down. So we're hitting this high. It very, very, very rarely breaks this top blue line. This is the most it could ever go before it starts to come back down. I mean, look at the history. When has it hit this top line? Look, hit this top line, bam, came back down. Do I need to show you the price point on that? It doesn't even hit that top line. Hit this top line and boom, it went to the other bottom line on our momentum index. This is nuts. This is what's happening right now, guys. Like people are not believing me when I'm saying this because they're so caught up in, they're caught up in their feelings. Go back to it so you can see. That was back in 2024. Oh yeah. So check it out. Hits this top bar again. And look at this downtrend. The whole stinking year of 2022. Look at this. Boom. Boom. Why was this down? Anyways, if we go back from a technical standpoint, we had the highest momentum we ever saw. And our momentum hit its peak. And look at all these red traffic lights. The sell-off was massive. Imagine if you're 70 years old and you're here, which we're here. We're actually higher. We're really higher. Let me go back to fast forward. I just want to show you the historicals on our MACD here, our MACD momentum. It literally just hit this top and came boom, down, 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 down. And many of you have spent 25, 35% premium to get out. You bought it 25, 30% if you bought it from the Noble, the Gold Co's, all those scam type companies that I don't like. they will straight up screw you out of 25 to 50% of your money on the buy and sell side. So be very careful where you buy your precious metals. I like Cornerstone. Cornerstone, they pay me a very, very low concession, but typically they're around 10% commission to them because they wrap it, they QR code it, they insure it. They do not predatorily sell you, and they actually show you charts, quantitative and qualitative, and they're a Christian faith-based company. They're not a fake company. They're not a company that doesn't have your best interest. And so what I'm saying is that gold is going to come down, and you'll see it go back up. You'll see it go back up. I'm not saying that it's going to crash forever. I'm just saying that if you have precious metals right now, it's a good time to possibly sell a good 25 to 50% of your precious metals. Let it ride. You guys made a ton of money. Get your principal out. Let the rest ride. You'll never, ever get upset for taking profits, for locking in profits. You will get upset if you lost it and you didn't. I hear it all the time, man. Like, don't get caught in that emotional trading cycle, because that's what happens here. We're at an all-time high, guys. Like, how much do you want? It's going to hit 4,000. Are you going to sell at 4,000, or are you going to let it ride to 7,000? What if it coughs 15%? I'm already at its max momentum right here. It's going to hit this max momentum and it's going to come down. I already showed you that the US dollar is starting to peak up. And so in the US dollar, people are going to sell their gold and go right to the US dollar. I'm telling you, man, this is what happened. And this is the manipulations that you see. And people invest with their feelings and not with quantitative and qualitative stewardship. So we have gold. And for those of you, oh, what about silver, Carlos? Well, silver is the same daggone thing. I mean, I like silver, right? Because it is a commodity. It is industrial metal. They're both commodities, but this is industrial metal. However, it is industrial metal. It's a trading chart. We're sitting at 46.84. Holy smokes, this thing is bad, bro. Bad to the bone. I bought it. I bought it around 15. So I'm really excited. I'm probably going to be selling 25, 30% of my silver just to lock it in. So anyways, I just want to warn you guys, as the US dollar comes down, I'm sorry, that it already went down. As it comes back up, you're going to see a lot of weakness here. It hits this band. Oh, and here's another indicator, by the way. This is a Bollinger Band right here, this yellow line that you see. Typically, when it hits this band or gets close to it, it goes right to the middle. You see how it hits this and it's trying to go to the middle. It hits this and it'll go to the middle. Let me show you some more historical. Yes. So it'll hit this yellow band right here and it'll go down to the middle, sometimes past the middle. It'll hit this band and come down. It'll hit this and boom, come down. Every time it hits that band, it literally comes down. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is technical analysis. It will hit this outer band and go to the middle. Hit this outer band, go to the middle. Hit the outer band, go to the middle. Hit the outer band, go to the middle. Hit the outer band. What's it going to do? It's going to find its home here in the middle. This is no joke, man. So it's already hitting the band, and watch it come down to its mean. So that's the beautiful thing about Bollinger Bands. And we have these tools to analyze the markets on a 24/7 basis. So we want to be here for you for your retirement. We want to show you the truth by showing you the charts. We never tell you to buy anything that you're uncomfortable with, but we want to tell you what you're in so you can tell, so that we can give you advice on what is a better positioning for you. So please do not buy Bitcoin or gold or J-proof thinking you're going to be this multi-millionaire, because those are the things that get you hurt. And this is not, let's see here, this is not an advertisement for J-proof, but some people have bought J-proof. And I never, ever recommend crypto because of my past, obviously. But for those of you that have J-proof, it is a liquid asset, but it's a crypto. You will see things that will go up and down 80%. There is a liquidity issue here. But having the ability to buy when it's low, when we know the dev is probably never going to sell. Now, this is a risk asset. You could lose all your money. This is not meant for retirement money. This is meant for speculation. So when we see something like this, it'd be a good opportunity to get in. I wouldn't recommend more than 5 or 10% of liquid assets, guys, because this is a complete risk asset. I mean, I don't think he will, but Stu literally could rug pull the whole thing if he ever wanted to. I don't think he ever will, because I saw his wallet over 200 million and he didn't even touch a penny. So that was pretty amazing to see. However, the analysis says that that's on a weekly, on a 4 hour. So here's our daily. So it did turn green earlier last week as a volume did spike up. So yeah, we see a sideline. So what's interesting about this is that whenever we see any stock or ETF or any crypto, you see this long elongated channel, and we don't see these yellow bands fan out or any volatility. Typically, it's like a bouncy ball. So imagine there's a hallway. These yellow lines are the floor and the ceiling. It'll bounce, hit the wall, bounce, hit the wall, bounce, hit the wall, and then it'll just consolidate when it slows down. But what happens is someone picks it up, and then it starts either breaking out here, it'll stay stagnant for a little bit, and then it'll bounce again, and we'll expect some volatility, and then it'll consolidate, and it'll bounce again, expect some consolidation. So there is some volatility that could happen here in the short future. But I wanted to take a look at BTC real quick. Pretty volatile, guys. This is trading at 113. We had a little pullback from our highs of 118, 119, somewhere around there. And honestly, guys, like it should come up from here, because once again, it's hitting that yellow Bollinger Band, and we should see a little spike here in the short term. But this is being institutionalized. Like, all the big banks are wanting to know more about Bitcoin, and I really think that Bitcoin will be $250,000 in 3 to 4 years, and it could really, really spike long term. Now, do not invest in Bitcoin if you cannot handle 40% drawdowns, even 70% drawdowns. Like, this is extremely cyclical. So just in 2024, it was at 34,000. Now it's over 115,000, guys. So goes to show you, we've kind of missed the boat here, but having the ability to have access to this is amazing. Now, you could buy it through Coinbase, crypto.com. You can buy it from an exchange, but just know that if you leave it in an exchange, you're vulnerable to bank bail-ins. You're vulnerable to the crypto exchange system. Like, if you have it in an exchange, you don't own it. The exchange does, and they can pull it whenever they want. So be very careful. If you do own crypto, always get a ledger, a cold wallet. You can go and Google what a ledger is, a Bitcoin wallet, and they're everywhere, typically 50 to 80 bucks. And it's like opening up an email, and you just send it to that wallet. Don't lose your passcode. Put it in your gun safe, or share it with somebody you trust with your life, your financial life, and never lose it. Because if you lose the thumb drive, you'll still have access to the wallet. All right. So we get a lot of people that want to buy crypto. So pretty interesting. Hey, so let's look at some really cool stuff, man. I hope you guys are liking my new setup. I'm a lot more comfortable. I got these cameras here. I keep hitting myself in the mic, so just bear with me. But I love it, man. Like, this is really, really cool to just share these screens with you. So I'm really following the QQQs, actually TQQQ. I did make some profit from last week. Remember, I told you guys to buy here, and it went up. I bought like a 3-day expiration, was up about like 300%, but I didn't buy a lot. I only bought like 3 or 4 contracts. So you can't be greedy with this stuff. So I'm going to be talking more about option calls and some puts, because I know where the markets are going. I just sometimes don't know how high. However, my software that is pretty awesome tells me the average trade range. So on TQQ, our average trade range is about almost $3. So if I had all green traffic lights and a buy signal here, and it's away from our yellow Bollinger Band, this might be a great time to maybe buy like a 102 call here, right? Out of the money, expiring, next week, and it'll be a weekly trade. And this is how we can make 30, 40% in a month. We're going to probably miss about 50, 60% of our trades. We'll lose them. However, the ones that win more than supersede the losses, and we would have profits. So my goal is to actually get more of a 70% instead of 50-50 on our call options, so that we can be really profitable. And more importantly, I did get clearance. I did get acknowledgement from my legal side of things, my legal attorneys, that I can have an inner circle for trade purposes, and we'll probably be looking around $10,000 to $20,000 a year on that. And we're going to send you literally signals so that you can buy an index and just make a ton of money doing it. All you got to do is just buy the index, get the alerts. It'll come to your cell phone, your email, probably both. You'll get the signal. You would need obviously a trading account, and it's up to you to make the trades. But if you do, you'll have a great track record in any market, up or down. We just need volatility. Speaking of volatility, let's take a look at the VIXY, baby. All right, so VIXY tells us that the market is going down. I mean, the VIX is going down, which means the market's going up. That's the ETF. So, yep, we'll have, and that sounds about right, because we have red lights here, meaning we'll see it come down just a little more. Typically, when that VIX is around 14, man, like, it will pop back up. So I'm pretty interested in seeing this, when this is going to turn green. The other ticker that I do like is UVIX, and it's almost identical to VIXY. Now, this is a great ETF. This is a great ETF if you think the stock market is going to crash. Like, you can buy this right now for about $9, $9.25, somewhere around there. And you can buy some call options here. But right now is not the time, because they lowered interest rates. Markets go up. But I will be talking about this once we see a massive correction. This is going to pop. Now, for those of you that are waiting on interest rates to come down even more, we look at TMF, and look what we're getting here, guys. And this is on a daily. We're starting to see some pops coming back up to 40 range, which is great news for us to have been down 50% on this sucker. I got in. I thought it was a good deal at 50. But guess what? The Fed was late to the program. Now we're starting to see some momentum here, because guess what's going to happen next month? More lowering of interest rates, more monetary easing. So as that happens again, we're going to see this pop up. So do not give on the TMF trade. Remember, we bought it for January expiration. So we could see a pop here, guys. Like, we still have a pulse, and I'm still bullish on this. So is my charts. I have green lights here. That's on a daily. The weekly is starting to turn. We got a green traffic light long term, which is really cool. We have two reds, which could turn. And once again, it hit that close to that Bollinger Band, and it's fighting back up. Hit the Bollinger Band here, fighting back up. And might hit this Bollinger Band up and move the average out even higher and have momentum. So we just got to take a look at the daily where we're at right now. Full-blown green charts. It looks great. We have a lot of momentum coming in. Our momentum is at its top, but it came down, is getting some breath. And what it could actually do is it could hit that medium on that momentum index, this second red line here, and start to pop back up, which will be the bullish indicator that interest rates will be coming down and this is coming back up. Now, the bad thing about TMF, it's based on a 20-year treasury, not the 10. And a 20-year treasury is more subject to move based on PPIs, more so on inflation. So as they get inflation under control, supposedly, then we'll start to pop this. This will start to look good. And this bad boy was up to 400. And so if we have our call options, our January call options, then we're going to be sitting pretty here for those of you that are in it. Again, do not invest in this. If you cannot wait 6 to 12 months, this requires a ton of risk. You could lose all your money. I'm not recommending TMF. I'm just saying that as the interest rates lower, this is a great investment to take advantage of because this will grow 3 times and it's pretty amazing. It's fully liquid. You have to do it on your own brokerage account. If you need help about this trade, you can give me a call, 813-448-3446, or visit us at cortezwm.com. Many of you have called me and be like, hey, Carlos, so what the heck do I do? I got a pot of money. I got an inheritance. My mom gave me money. I sold a business. I sold a home. However you ran across money. That is a very interesting thing right now because we're getting a lot of phone calls. And so what I want to talk about today, I want to kind of finish this up real quick because a lot of people are calling us about the November 1st takedown of the declining of the interest rates of these accounts. And so I just wanted to bring up some calculators that you guys can see. Maybe you want to share this with your friends or your family, however you want. But I did this illustration on me. I'm 42 years old. It doesn't matter as long as you're under 65. I wanted to do this for our under crowd. Now, if you're older, no big deal. It's the same thing as just we get a different bonus. We get a different bonus up front. So if you're over 65, it is 22%. And it's going down. It actually is going down. So it has to be over 75,000 and it'll be 22%. So pretty amazing. So I wanted to show you, again, I'm not recommending any companies here. Okay. So what I want to do here, guys. So I just use my age and I just use 50,000, right? So 50,000 goes in. Automatically, I get a 25% bonus because it's under 75. If it's over 75, it would be 29%. Now, this is a 14-year deal, meaning I only have access to 10% for 14 years. There is an annual fee. I want to make sure you understand that there is an annual fee of 0.95. You do have access to 10% a year, but look how powerful this is. We put 50,000 one year. It's already at 62. It grows with obviously the interest. Not a lot that past year. Only we made 2% net of fees. We dump another 50% to get our 25% bonus. The following year, we dumped another 50% to get another 25%. Our accumulation value with just a nominal rate of return of 2 and even a 16, our account value is already at 217. And let's just say we never added a penny to it. By the time you are, let's see here, 55, you have accumulated over $500,000 on $150,000 with a very nominal fee of 0.95. You have the ability to take 10% out a year. And here is the surrender value. Obviously, by the time at a 42-year-old, by the time you are 57, because it's a 14-year product, 55. You got $500,000 you can walk away with. No problem. Perfect timing for retirement. You take that $500,000, you live off 5 to 7% free withdrawals, depending where inflation's at. And you typically never really touch your principal because look at your interest rates that is projected to do on the right-hand side. A 2, a 16, a 7, a 12, a 23, a 13, a 0, a 4.5, a 5. Notice there's no negatives here. And that's because the beautiful process of this is that your principal is protected and guaranteed by an A-rated insurance carrier. And so you have the ability to literally save into this account. This offer of this rate is going away November 1st. I cannot stress that enough, that this is just for temporary illustration purposes because interest rates have and will go down. And November 1st, it will not even be, and this rate will not be this high probably in decades. So if you really want this, there is a bonus structure that you can utilize to add to and get bonus money. Totally cool with that. But there's also a other side of this where you don't sign up for the bonus and you actually grow more. You think these are great rates of return of 2 and 16 and 7 and 12 and 23. If you opt for the no bonus, you get no annual fee. And it's pretty much triple these returns, double to triple these returns. So we're averaging over 11.5% to 15% on the no bonus side because the rates are so high right now. And if you have a rollover, a 401k, give us a call because this is a great, great asset. Just to set it, forget it, let it quadruple inside of 10 years. Mathematically, that's what it's projecting. And a 10 times in 15 to 20 years, if you're younger, then put it away and let it grow to millions of dollars. And the government doesn't have access to it. Your 401k doesn't have access to it. If you get in a lawsuit, they don't have access to it. O.J. Simpson committed murder, got away with it, lost in civil court, had an account like this, and was still making money, $50,000 a month in a prison cell because no one could touch it. Wallstreet does not want you to know about this, guys, because they don't get paid on this. And so this is why I'm very passionate about these style of accounts, because they work. And how do I get compensated? Well, should you call and decide to secure your assets and privatize it, they give me my commission or 1% a year, whatever we elect, and it doesn't come from you. And I get to work with you. My team gets to work with you to coordinate your values, your situation, and find literally the best type of company and product. Some actually you can access 10% inside the first year. Some don't offer a bonus. Some literally allow you to take 20% out a year and roll it up. So there's different bells and whistles depending on your needs and your situation. These are great accumulation products that will never, ever go down. And they're backed by the insurance carrier of your choice. These are companies that I've hand selected that didn't face diaper their employees, that didn't vaccinate and force mandate the jab on their employees, that are pro-America, that actually have people, white hats in there that love the cross, that understand my message and are okay with me talking about their offer. Because you can't get this at the banks. You can't get this with your corny vaccinated advisor. This is that works in for the big banks. This is solely for independent fiduciaries such as myself, because we have access to some of the big products because they don't need to advertise during a Super Bowl. They don't need to do all this nonsense and take away from the product when they can invest in a product and actually give you the better end of the stick. So if that's you, give us a call. We want to help you. See if this is a suitable transaction for you. We can also replace old accounts with this. So if you got an Allianz one or a Security Benefit one or a Midland one or a Jackson National Life or Prudential, Mass Mutual, we can literally convert these accounts, get a bonus. You make money overnight, lower your fee, guarantee your principal, and actually grow it in an index, what you're supposed to be doing, instead of some dumb income rider that you'll never use. This is a lifetime income. All that is a perpetuated nonsense and, in my opinion, a scam, because you're paying for it and you're losing money at the same time. So if that's you, let us give you a review. We want to help you. Also, a lot of you are trying to get in shape. GetMeLeanUSA.com. Go there, get you some great peptides. My son is actually on fit. He's getting very muscular, and I'm feeling great. I love this stuff, and it's so awesome to have animal and plant-based peptides delivered right to your door. You can drink it. You can take it to bed for great sleep. You can take it for focus. You can take it for energy. And it's amazing. It's a God America First company. So go to GetMeLeanUSA.com. Book your subscription. You can cancel at any time. Deliver right to your door. I don't make a ton of money. I just love the product, so I'm always talking about it. And as you can see, I was a fat you-know-what, and it did help me walking 15,000 steps a day and eating 200 grams of protein a day. You will get ripped. You will lose that beer gut. I don't drink any alcohol. My wife and kids don't drink any nasty products either. And it's just great to show up as a healthy dad or wife or mom to your family. And so get some good rest. Be optimized, not just spiritually, but also physically and financially. God bless you guys. Please give us a call, 813-448-3446, or email me at info@cortezwm.com. We want to help you. Let us just give you a second opinion on your investments, on all investments. as well as your safe money accounts. If you have any, you definitely going to want some going into this debacle that we're in with the commercial real estate crisis. And don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, as well as Rumble. You can follow us on Rumble. Just go to Scriptures on Wall Street and like and subscribe us there. Anyways, guys, I'm out. There's my little Bob Ross. I hope you like him. I had to move him so everybody can see him. And my little bull, I love him. All right, guys, I'm out of here. God bless. If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a 29% bonus. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify.